Who is this?
I don't know. Who's this? What's your favorite scary movie?
Well, you're about to find out.
Don't hang up on me.
Welcome back, everyone, and today we are ranking the Scream movies. Let's go. Before we get started, let me know what you think about the new set. I'm really glad to put it together. It'll be changing from time to time because I have very limited space to work with on the shelf, but let me know what you think. I enjoy it. Time for the ranking. Let's Dewey Do It. So the fifth spot was very tricky for me. I had two movies in mind, but I thought some over, rewatched them again, and I finally settled with Scream 3. This movie could have been way better than what it was. The whole idea was scrapped. As you guys know, Matthew Leonard was supposed to come back as Stu. And there's that whole issue with the Weinsteins not wanting Angela to be revealed as the second killer. By the way, even though Angela was not revealed as the second killer, there's still two killers, and she is the second one. And don't you deny it. Don't you deny it. But this film isn't terrible. It has moments I enjoy, like when Sarah's going through the room with all the Ghostface costumes. It's a great, suspenseful scene. You don't know, like, oh, which one? Which one is he? Where's he at? Seeing Maureen on screen, and not just as a picture, was very nice to see her live as a character. I like the tie back to the original, where Roman's involved and was working with Billy and Stu in a way. But that's the only part that makes Roman memorable. Like, without that, my reaction is, wow, it's the random annoying director. I was very disappointed until he mentioned that he's Sidney's half-brother. That put a twist on it, and it made up for the reveal. And one thing I see everyone talking about is how they hate Gale's hair in this movie. Now looking at it, I have to agree, it's not the best haircut Miss Weathers has had. Having Randy back as a video was awesome. I was like, oh. But it was the first time seeing Martha. Seeing Randy back on the video was a real treat. Very exciting and very unexpected. I enjoyed Tyson. He had some funny moments. And the bodyguard was amazing. Having Patrick in this film was awesome. It's very sad to see him go. Very funny with the whole dewdrop thing. But overall, this movie has its moments. It has its good moments. Even though the kills aren't that memorable, aren't that great, it's still a decent addition to this franchise, and I'm glad to have it. Up next, in number 4, we have Scream 4. This movie is very confusing at some points, like at the Stabathon scene, you see Charlie in costume, out of costume, and then back in costume. And then where Sidney's running from the back door to the front door, Ghostface is already there. There's no way Charlie would have ran all the way to the front of the house in time. The fake out opening scene got me thinking, it's like, okay, so is this another fake out? Is this the real movie? Really didn't care for it that much. It was interesting to see the first time, but like rewatching, it's like, okay, yeah, I don't really care for this. But this movie's pretty good. Jill being Ghostface is the most surprising reveal to me. It was hidden so well. It's got me pretty heartbroken. I'm like, Jill, no, you're better than this. I forgot to mention that this movie has characters that I just don't care about. They're not really likable to me. Like Charlie, he's the most boring character. Robbie's my favorite from this, alongside with Jill, and Kirby was an okay character. Deputy Perkins had some funny moments as well. In 3, we have Scream 2022. This film was a refresher. It was something new, focused on new characters, but still having the past characters tied into it. They're not a huge part of the movie, but they're still in it. Guys, you knew it was coming. You knew I was going to mention it. They killed Dewey! Radio silence! What the f***? I think Randy would like to say a few words to that.
Fuck you!
Well said, Randy. Well said. I hate losing Dewey. Everybody will agree on that, but the scene of him walking down the hall was very good, very cinematic. And it didn't hit me until a few seconds after that, wait a minute, they're going to kill him. I was so caught up in the heroic Dewey walk that I didn't realize that this was going to be his death. And one thing you guys are going to know if you watch my channel, especially my Scream content, is I hate Amber. And I think Randy would agree.
Fuck you!
But I enjoyed it, except for this. There would be some things I would change about it, like killing Judy. Like Gail says at the end of the movie that she's going to write her next book off of Dewey, and I think that would have helped there is Judy, since she's worked with him. So by keeping Judy, that would help. And it's not just that. Judy could have stepped in as that third character. It's always been Sidney, Gail, and Dewey. Well, Judy could have stepped into that spotlight and took that third place for the next movie. Judy could have got some spotlight, especially because she's being overshadowed by Dewey. You know, you hear nobody talking about, oh, they killed Judy. It's like, oh, Dewey! Which, you know, it makes totally sense because he's more significant, he's more lovable character, he's been around much longer. I think they're moving too fast with the characters. I feel like they're trying to kill off past characters and move forward with their characters. Sidney and Gail's the only two we have left. I know there's rumors about Stu and Kirby coming back, but right now, we only have Gail and Sidney. So Gail might have a demise within the next two films. And Sidney's not going to die by the hands of Ghostface, but she can still be written out. Like, she moved on, she's having a life now. So we're not going to have any past characters. Now that I'm sharing all these thoughts, I'm starting to rethink about my decision on having this movie in the third position. But to conclude, everything else was great. Not a big fan of that. Mindy and Chad, I enjoyed them too. The tribute to Randy, loved it. And seeing Martha again. Billy Loomis as a hallucination, great surprise there. It would have been more suspenseful if it took a few seconds, because you see her, Sam, talking into the mirror to somebody, and it just immediately shows who it is. It would have been very suspenseful to have a few seconds of her talking, and then it shows the mirror, instead of just going straight to it and we see who it is. And number 2, we got Scream 2. The opening scene for this was great. It's in a public place and not a house, so it's switching it up, which Jada did an amazing job with her death scene.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth!
Oh, right, I forgot. We can't say Jada.
Keep...
Sorry, Will. Will, it slipped. Are we good?
Yes.
I didn't want to get slapped. The whole movie within a movie thing, I liked that. It's based on the events from the first film. Tori Spelling being cast as the stabbed Sidney is perfect because it's a callback to the original film. I didn't like losing Randy within the first 30 minutes, and everybody would agree on that one. Also sad to see Sarah Michelle Gellar die in this movie. She only had 2 scenes, and one of them is her death scene. But I judged the overall movie. The reveals were meh. Having Mickey take off the mask was nice. That's the first. But I say the same thing like I did with Roman in this. It's the random news reporter. Wow. Never would have guessed that. And she's Billy Loomis's mother? And she's out for revenge. Never seen that before. But it's a good follow-up to the original, having Cotton more involved, like there as like a red herring, a suspect into it, and the whole there's a copycat killer dialogue. It all fits well. And number 1, at this point you already knew number 1 before you even clicked on the video. Scream 1996. I don't think it really needs an explanation on why it's first. But all I got to say is, it's a Scream, baby! But yeah, I really enjoyed the first film. Very shocking with the whole two killer reveal. I won't get that same suspense back. Every movie past this, I'm like, okay, which 2 is it now? Which 2 is it now? Even with other murder mystery movies, I still don't check that off. Like, I still have that in mind that they could be 2. So it's not just with Scream. So yeah, I'll never get that same suspense back as it being Billy and Stu having 2 killers in there. And the whole fake out with Billy dying, that was nice too. That was very shocking. But there we go, that's the ranking of the Scream franchise. Let me know if you agree with it down in the comments. What would you choose? Let me know. If you enjoyed the content, go ahead and slash that subscribe button for all content, even more Scream content. And I'll be back in the next video. Wait, crap.
I told you not not to hang up on me.
Never, ever, ever, under any circumstances say, I'll be right back. Because you won't be back.